Hi guys, welcome to JoeGa Fitness with me, Joe, and to today's Alfresco flow practice. If you do enjoy it, please, as always, like, share, subscribe, and if you can hit that bell, it lets me know that you have been watching. If you've got any comments, there's all the social media ways to get in touch, or you can use the boxes below this edition. When you're ready, we're going to come down to Shavasana and begin our practice. Allowing yourself to feel the ground beneath you. Feel the breath coming in the body. Just allow everything to open and surrender. Releasing and letting go. Observe the quiet and stillness. Notice the breath, the heartbeats. And then as you breathe in, just reach those arms up and away behind and take a nice big stretch. And as you exhale, bring the arms back down beside you, moving nice and slowly, care and consideration. Let's do that again. Breathe in, take the arms up and over. Breathe out, bring the hands back down. Breathing in, reach away. Maybe point the toes this time, find some real tension in the body. And then releasing off and feeling the difference between that relaxation and that tension. Slide the feet onto the ground, bending the knees. Have the feet maybe wider than hip width, but at least hip width apart. And just start to roll the knees from side to side. Just massaging that lower back into the ground and noticing how you feel. That somatics, remember. And then maybe turning the head in the opposite direction to the knees. Drop the knees to one side, doesn't matter which one, and just pause here in a little rotational twist. And then change sides, please. Come back to center, head and knees. Bring the knees in over the belly and just rock and massage the lower back into the ground now. So when your feet are on the ground or we're in Markadasana, yes, we are getting a bit of a spine twist, but it's more into the hips. So this just massages the lower back. And maybe take the knees around in a circle. Pouring a circle one way and then go back the other. And then when you're ready, pop yourself up to sitting. Sitting up nice and tall. Legs crossed in a position that feels comfortable for you. We're just going to take a little bit of a forward fold here, just stretching out lower back into the hips, into, I'll just move back a little, I've got a bit more on my mat. And then sitting up nice and tall and just take a lateral flexion as well. And release spinal rotation, turn and look to one side. And then if you will come back to center, just rolling across the knees, come up onto all fours And let's just take a little cat and cow here. So just remember what side you've already worked. I always tend to start with my right leg crossed in front just so I remember to do the left next time, but you might have some other way of reminding yourself how to do things. Lovely. Just rolling through cat and cow, noticing how it feels into the pelvis, into the shoulders, into the neck, into buttocks and hips, and wrists and elbows, and then just rocking side to side. Good. Let's step 1 foot forward. So again, I'm kind of sticking to the right side theme, but you can go whichever side you want, and just pushing that forwards, but noticing how my knee is over my ankle. Okay, so I'm not pushing. So if my foot only comes up this far and I start pushing my knee further forward than my ankle, my heel comes off the ground. I don't want that. So I want a nice big wide stance at the groin. Well done. And we're just going to lean into that. So just taking a little moment to breathe into this stretch here, just letting it happen. And then move the weight back. If you struggle with your knees and this doesn't feel comfortable, then please, don't need to do it. I'm keeping my hips high for the moment, so I'm pulling it back, straightening the leg, getting a hamstring stretch, but I'm not sitting my bum back down towards my heel yet. But we're going to do that now. So we're going to kind of move that bottom back. So now we're stretching the quad on this side, hamstring on this side. So it's kind of like a half thunderbolt pose, reaching forwards towards that foot. Remember, touching the foot is not the absolute definitive here, just reaching towards, looking for that stretch. And then coming back up, and we're going to take that leg that's in front out behind, and I'm just going to move this a little bit on the diagonal so you can see. We're going to take the foot behind. I've got my toes curled under, I'm pressing into my heel, I'm stretching into the calf. So I've got a nice big stretch there. Lovely. And then just releasing that off, coming back onto all fours. What I'd like you to do is lift your right arm into the air, twist through the spine. And then just release that off. And take it again, same side, lift and reach, stretch to the sky. And release one more time. This time we're going to thread through into Parsvabalasana, that threaded needle. Coming through and just twist the other way. And come back to center. Let's just take a cat and cow here again. Rolling the spine, rolling the hips. And we repeat exercises or postures like this. It gives us a greater depth, a greater layering. And then just sit back into child's pose of your choice and reach forwards. Come on up. Let's just take a seat once more. So this time I'm going to cross the other leg in front. So if you are in possession of the memory, then if not, just as you kind of work through it, you'll think, oh, I think I've done this side already. And it doesn't matter to do the same side twice. Lovely. And just release that off, and then lateral flexion. And then that spinal rotation. Okay, back over onto all fours if you can. Let's just take a nice cat and cow here. Just a couple. And then we're going to step that second side through. pressing open through the groin. So again, knee over ankle. Try not to have the knee pushing forwards over the foot or over the toes. Having it pulled back, that's preferable to having it too far forward, but ideally vertical. And then coming up to lean on that thigh. Feeling this along the back leg. And then just pulling it, keep the hips high, stretching into hamstring. And then all the way back, sitting back, getting that stretch, kind of somewhere between half hero and half thunderbolt. Rising up, take that leg out behind. Again, I'm just going to shift my position a little bit. Toes on the ground, really push into the heel, stretching along the back through soleus, gastroc, into the popliteal joint. And then onto all fours, and we'll take that second side into the air. And release. And lift it up. And release. And again, one more time, reaching up, this time threading through, take it all the way through, resting on the side of the head, on the temple. And then releasing off and sitting back into your child. Rising up to kneeling if you can, seated on your bottom if you need to. We're just going to take the arms around behind, and again I'm just going to take a side view so you can see. Stretch out across the chest, squeeze the scapula together and drive the hands behind you. Really open through the chest. And then release. A couple of shoulder rolls. And again. And then roll it back and around, maybe holding the other way this time so the other hand leads, and stretching out. Good work. And then just releasing that off, just retraction, protraction. And then we're just going to stretch the ankles as well here. So from this kneeling position, if this is where you are, you're just going to lift the knees off the floor if you can. It's going to stretch into the ankles. And again, I'm just going to turn to the side so you guys can see. So the knees come up, the feet stay down. So you're getting this real stretch through the ankles. And then releasing off. And then what I'd like you to do, coming over onto all fours, we're going to push up into downward facing dog. So lift the hips, push back, stretch away. Feel free to take a pedal here. And then just walking the feet in towards the hands, coming into your forward fold. And then rolling up to standing. Make your way up to the top of your mat. And just take a breath in, lift the arms up towards the sky, reaching up. And take a little bit of a back bend, open your heart. And then flow forwards and down. And just hold here. And I'm just going to again turn side on. So maybe just bounce through the knees. Just allowing yourself to just stretch and release. And then holding in that forward fold once more, just getting that beautiful stretch. Take a halfway lift, lift the body halfway. And release. Step back on your right foot. So I'm going to mirror you. So I'm going to take my left foot back. And then we're just going to bring that knee to the floor. Do you remember this from the warm-up? This is that same posture, the same position. And we're just going to climb up onto that thigh again. So reusing, rehashing stuff we've already done. And then just letting that go, come back onto all fours, cat and cow. Again, something we've already done. And then sitting back into child's pose and pausing here before sliding out onto our tummy, coming into that Sphinx pose. Just press the pelvis into the ground, lengthen up through the spine, lift up through the neck, drop the shoulders down, really lengthen away. And then releasing that down as you exhale, hands beside you, pushing up into your downward facing dog. Lifting your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. We're going to send that leg up between the hands, coming into a kind of high lunge, and then step in with the other leg into our forward fold. Bend the knees, rise and climb, coming up, gather, and pull the energy down and into our heart. Pausing here. Okay, side two. Inhale, exhale, lift up, back bend. And exhale, forward fold and down. Again, just take a moment to bounce through those knees, just moving from side to side. And then pausing in the center, take a halfway lift. Lift up halfway and release. Step back on your left leg this time. So again, with mirroring, I'm doing my right, but your left. Bring that knee to the floor, and again, replicating that same position, coming up onto the thigh, stretching out through the back leg. Inhale, exhale, relax it to the ground, step back onto all fours, take that cat and cow. And then when you're ready, from cat arch, sink back into child's pose. Slip and slide forwards into your Sphinx pose. Lift the heart, lengthen through the spine. So even though Sphinx pose is very, very supported and it's quite an easy, gentle pose for most people, we can still add purpose, you know, so we're not kind of just all collapsed and relaxed. We've got this beautiful line, this beautiful purpose. And then inhale, exhale, release that off, hands to the side of the chest, pushing back up into your down dog, please. Lifting your left leg to the sky. We're going to step that foot up between the hands, or if you can't get it up there in one, you know, put the back knee down, give it some help, bring it forwards. Step in with the right. And then rolling up, gathering up, and drawing the energy into our heart. And release that off. Take a breath in, lift up. And exhale, fold forwards. Take a halfway lift. And release. And step back once more on your right leg. We're going to drop that knee to the ground again like we did before. This time your right hand goes down, your left hand comes up. So again, very reminiscent of the Parsva Balasana preparation we did. That rotation, that twist, coming again here now. Relax that down, step back onto all fours, taking our cat and cow. One more time. Roll that heart forwards, drop that back. And then as you lift it up, cat arch here, sink the hips back and sit back into child's pose. Breath in, and as you exhale, slide and slither through into your Sphinx pose. And what we're going to do here is we're going to bring the elbows onto the floor, bring the hands together into prayer, and just drop the forehead to the ground. So just lengthen through the underarms, lengthen through the backs of the arms, hands in prayer behind the head. Breathe in, release, bring the hands back beside you, back up into down dog. And again, lifting that right leg and sending it to the top of the mat. Remembering that if you can't get it there in one, that's fine. Do as many as you need to do to get it there. Bring the left foot to join into forward fold, and then soften the knees as you rise and climb. Pick up, gather, and draw down. Inhale, exhale, side two, reach back, open. Forward fold and down. Halfway lift, rise, and release, and step back on your left leg. Knee comes down, just pressing into that front leg, and then left hand down, right hand is going to raise. Taking that twist. Inhale, exhale, bring it down, step back onto all fours, roll the spine into cat arch, and drop it down into Bitterasana, cow pose. And again, roll it up, and roll it down. One more time, roll it up, and down. And then as you lift into cat arch, sink your hips back and come into child's pose. Exhale through into your Sphinx pose. Good. And again, just walk those elbows forwards. Hands into prayer, forehead down, hands behind the head. Really drive those elbows forwards. Think about pushing them out, lengthening through. Release the hands back beside the chest, lifting up, coming into your downward face dog. Lift your left leg into the sky and step it up to the top of your mat. Open your heart and step forwards with the right. Rise and climb, lifting up, gather, and pull the energy down into your heart. We all good? Let's go again. Reach up, lengthen, and fold forwards and down. Halfway lift, rise, and exhale to release. Holding this hang. Step back with your right leg. Roll the heart open. Bring the knee down, hand down, and lift and twist. Release the hand down. Step back onto all fours. Take that cat and cow, please. We're just going to do one this time. So cat, arch to cow pose. And then roll it up into cat and sit back into child. Slither and snake forwards. Take the elbows forwards. Find that prayer. Forehead to the earth. So our center of intuition connecting with Mother Earth. And then releasing. And we're going to come back up into downward facing dog. So you're going to be facing away from me a little bit. We're going to come through into prep for pigeon. So lifting your right leg up to the sky. We're going to slide that knee forwards. And then we're going to turn the knee out to the side. And we're going to sit back into that space we've created. Okay? So we're kind of side on facing towards the mat. We've got an inward rotation on this back hip and an outward rotation on this front hip. And then we're going to lean down and lean over towards the front of the mat. And then releasing that off, come back around into that thunderbolt pose, lifting up into down dog. Take that right leg up into the air and then step it through. Bring the left leg to join and roll and rise, gather and draw in and down. Side two, let's try and keep it the same. Inhale, exhale, lift up, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Step back on your left. Roll the heart. Make sure you're in a good position, not overshooting that knee. And then back knee comes down, spiral and twist to the sky. Exhale down, step back onto all fours. Roll it up into cat arch. Drop it through into cow pose. And then roll it up into cat arch and sink the hips back into child. Slide your body forwards and through. Take that sphinx. And then bring those elbows as far forward as you can, hands in prayer. Draw the hands down behind you, really stretch out through backs of the arms and through the underarms. Inhale, exhale, release. Hands beside you, lift into your down dog, please. Your left leg is going to raise to the sky. And we're going to slide the knee up between the hands. We then outwardly rotate that knee so it's gone past the wrist, and we're going to sit back so we're kind of facing towards the side of our mat a little bit. Just feeling inward rotation here, outward rotation here. And then we're going to put our hand down and reach forward. It's a bit like mermaid pose. And release it off. Come around onto all fours and step back into three-legged dog. Left leg steps up the top of the mat. Right leg steps up. And we're going to roll and rise to climb. Gather and pull down. Okay, we have one more to do each side. We're going to put pigeon in there proper this time. So maybe making a few adjustments on other postures as well. Take a breath in, reach up, exhale. Inhale, exhale, fold forwards. Lift up halfway and release. And step back on your right leg. Now, every other one, we've dropped the knee, so we're going to drop the knee again this time. We're going to drop the hand, we're going to rotate and open. But what you can do this time is you can tuck the toes of that right leg and bring that knee back off the ground. So again, I'm just going to change my position just so you can see. Okay, so this is an option now, a little bit stronger. Bring it all back down to come onto all fours. Roll up into cat arch. Roll through into cow. Lift cat arch, tuck the tail, sit back into child. And this time as you slide through, see if you can slide straight through into your resting reverence. If you need to hit that sphinx first and then do it, that's absolutely fine. Inhale, exhale, release those hands to the side of the body, tuck the toes, pushing up through plank if you can into downward facing dog, so getting a bit stronger. Lift that right leg to the sky and bring that knee through the hands, so through the center. And then rotate that knee out to the side. So you're really opening the hip. So you're getting that really good pigeon posture by rotating the hip. Okay, it's no good leaving it here because you're not going to be releasing sartorius, you're not going to be releasing sciatic. You need to get that rotation. And then just sitting down again, facing towards the side and into mermaid. So same. We're going to take a breath to rise, and we're going to move now through into our pigeon pose. So I've just moved into that space of pigeon. You don't have to be on your tummy. If you find that you can't get down there, rest on the elbows, you can rest on the hands, you can be wherever you feel comfortable. Okay, one more breath. Lift up onto the hands, staying in pigeon if you can. Tuck the toes of the left leg and lift the right leg up into the sky. Step that foot up between the hands and step in with the left. Roll and rise, coming up to climb, gather and pull the energy down. Okay, we've got one half of sun salutation left to do, side two. Inhale, exhale, lift up, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. And release. Step back on your left leg. Find that high lunge. Drop the knee down, find the rotation. And then you can play with the back knee. Do you want to lift that back knee off? Really develops that stretch deeper. And then release, back knee comes down, step back onto all fours, roll the spine up into Madhyasana, cat arch, and drop it and dip it down into cow pose. Lift it up one more time, cat arch, sit back into child, release here, take a breath, and then as you slide through, try and link these movements together, straight through into this. Release that off, bring the hands beside, lift up through plank into down dog. And then lift that left leg into the sky. And bring the knee forwards. And again, just sitting the knee between the hands to begin with. Then rotate through the hip to bring the knee to the side. And we're going to sit down and take that mermaid pose. Breath and rise, coming up. Come back into pigeon pose. Remembering the variations that you can do here. And then releasing, bring that body up, hands to support, tuck the toes of the right leg, lifting up into three-legged dog. And coming through into high lunge. Stepping up with the back leg. And rise and climb to your full height. And draw that energy down. Good. Take a breath in, lift up. Breathe out, fold down. Halfway lift. Release. You can jump both feet back into down dog, or you can take a step back. And then just bring yourself back down onto all fours and just sit yourself onto your heels. Back into your thunderbolt pose. Bring the hands into prayer in the heart center, close the eyes. And just lean back if you can. So balancing with the eyes closed is really tricky. This ankle stretch is tricky anyway. So if you need to have your eyes open, then please do. And then release that off and just give those feet a little shake. Sometimes can feel quite strong through the feet. Sometimes it's even nice to kind of do a little bit of pitter-patter here. And then we're going to come back to our sitting position. So start with maybe your right leg in front. I'm taking my right leg in front just so we remember where we've been. And we're just going to take a little bit of a circular motion going round. And then just go back the other way. then just pause here. Take a little cat and cow here, rolling. Just really noticing how the spine feels. One more time. And sitting up nice and tall, and reach those arms up and pull the energy into our heart. And just notice how the body feels. Our salutation practice has concluded, and we're going to just start our seated stretching part. So just bring the soles of the feet together and just allow yourself to let your knees fall wide. And then just see if you can kind of make your way down towards the feet. You might have a visitor. You want to come sit? And then just release that. Sit back into your hands, feet on the floor, and just allow yourself to rock your knees from side to side. Good work. Bring one leg forwards, one leg back, and just reaching out towards that extended long leg. Take the other arm back and look behind you into archer's pose. And then releasing that off, bend the leg that's in front that's been, and straighten it up to the sky. Bend that knee. I'm running downhill a little bit here. Take hold of the heel or the back of the leg or the back of the knee. Instead of going up in front of you, this leg is now going to go up to the side. And then just bring that foot back in and back into our Konasana posture. Press those knees wide. Release back into the hands, side to side, rock those knees. And then Janu Sirsasana on side 2. So other leg extended forwards, reaching down towards that foot. You might need a strap, or you can use the bottom of your mat. Reach and twist, look behind you. And then release that off. Bend that straight leg out in front, lift it up right in front of you. Again, hold the leg wherever you need to. I mean, you might be down here, that's absolutely fine. Just wherever you feel right for you. And then releasing that off, taking that leg up to the side. And we're just going to bring that foot in, stretch both legs out, reach out towards the feet into Paschimottanasana. Just remembering that you might not quite reach your feet, so holding on wherever you do get to. Inhale, exhale, coming up. Just take those legs a little bit wider. So they might be at your maximum width, or they might be at a more comfortable width. That's entirely up to you. So we're going to rotate the body towards your one side and reach down towards that foot. And then just spiral open here. That kind of twist that we've done through Parsvabalasana, through the Anjani. And then close it back down again, release. And taking a seat, coming up. Twist towards side 2. Take a breath. And come on down. And then twisting and spiraling open. And release once more. And rolling up. Just once more, give those legs a little bit of a rock. You might still want to do windscreen wipers. We're going to make our way down to the ground. So just take a moment just to briefly come into Shavasana. And then making sure everything feels all right. Slide the feet onto the floor, knees bent. And we're just going to draw one knee in towards the chest. So just draw that knee in. And then straighten that leg up towards the sky. So you can hold the back. Try not to hold the knee joint because that will encourage the leg to bend. So on the hamstrings, on the calf, on the heel, on the foot. Hold. Some people like to hold the toe. You can use a strap. And then release that off and pull it down. And draw the other knee in. And then again, straightening that leg, just reach it up towards the sky. And then just releasing them off. Let's just take the feet to the ground or slide the legs long, making a kind of star shape with the body. Reach the arms up overhead nice and wide. Legs wide, really reach out as if you're trying to touch 5 different places at once. Both hands, both feet, and head. Everything reaching away. And then as you exhale, draw everything into Apanasana. Draw the head to the knees, draw the knees to the head, wrap the arms around the knees, bring everything in. And then release it down and come into Shavasana. Feel the ground beneath you. Take a nice, strong, deep breath in. And exhale away fully. Breathe in. And breathe out. And again, breathe in. And breathe out. And as you take that third and final forced exhalation, just feel your body opening and releasing and letting go. Close your eyes if you haven't already done so. Feel your weight of your body resting against the earth.